Hey there. Good morning, fellow travelers. I just had a really beautiful dream, and yeah, I just got to. I had a dream that I was rushing to go be there for my mom, and that I got to be with her at her church towards the very end, and she was there. She was at her Mormon church. She was at the Mormon Word in the back where we used to sit in the overflow, and I asked if she wanted to go and watch the rest of the service, but she just wanted to just hang out. And I got to sit there and hold her hand, and we just talked for a long time. And I was making a drawing for her. I was drawing the this whole parking garage and this restaurant, and she was just giving me so many details, and she was very weak in the dream because it was basically the very end for her. But we just stayed together, and towards the end, she wasn't in her wheelchair anymore. She was just laying down in bed, and it wasn't even a hospital bed. And I was just holding her hand and just talking, and it was beautiful. It's the first dream I've had like that since she passed. I think it's the first dream she's been in since she passed. Uh, I really wish I could have been there for her like that in person, but I know I was there in spirit. Uh, it was just so hard knowing that I had the chance to speak to her at the end, even though she was in a really tough space where she was not in a good space. When they had called and let me know that she only had a day to live, and that she wouldn't make the night. I just wish I had had more time, but you know, uh, they asked if I wanted to speak to her, and I was just so worried about getting her comfortable. All I could think of was getting her into hospice. So I turned down the chance to talk to her, called up hospice, and within the 4 minutes I was on hold, by the time they talked to me, they told me that she had passed. Spent this last 3 years, a year and a half, 2 years with her, just praying that I could be there for her at the very end. Man, it was so tough not being able to be there for that year because of things that I can't even talk about on this YouTube because we're being restricted by what we can say, by current agendas. But at least I got that beautiful dream. It was so nice. Just holding her hand and spending time with her and getting to be there at her church with her. Showing up and have everyone being like, oh my gosh, it's Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah. Being like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't care about any of that. Where's my mom? And then finding her and realizing I wasn't too late. Yeah, I'm crying now, but it was beautiful. I'm just still struggling with a lot of unprocessed feelings of guilt and shame, and I know that I shouldn't feel them, but just be there for your loved ones. Be there for them. You never know when it's too late. Now, I did get to be there, and I got to spend that week with her in April. And I'll never forget the feeling that I should have just stayed. And man, maybe I should have just stayed. But I didn't have an income. I didn't have my unemployment going. I had nowhere to stay. And I've gone through worse and been through worse, and I'm not going to beat myself up on the video for YouTube. I'm sorry, but I wish I'd been able to do more for her. I wish I'd been stronger. I'll just have to try to be stronger now and do more for people now in her name and not make any excuses. Thank you for letting me share.